Hello, so we're back on the subject of show me, tell me questions, and there's two questions that specifically look at tyres. Now the first question is, how do we check that our tyres are in a safe and legal state to use? So when we're looking at the tyres, first thing we want to do is make sure there's no cuts or bulges. So we're going to look around here. So this particular tyre is one that's going to perhaps get some damage if it's curbed, that sort of thing, but we can't see any cuts, no bulges, so in that case we're good. The cuts specifically, we don't want to see any cords, so there's metal cords within the tyre. They give the tyre its structural integrity, and as soon as they become exposed they would rust and become weak. So the next thing is we need to look at the tread depth. And so to do this we need a tread depth gauge. So a tread depth gauge looks something like this. We pull out the end and we're going to push the tread depth gauge in to give us, here we can see that we've got approximately 6 millimeters of tread on that tyre. So the minimum tread depth is 1.6 millimeters. Anything under 3 really should be considered to be replaced. And at 1.6 millimeters, we're looking at the middle 3/4 of the tread. So we're looking at that section of the tyre. So we need to be checking all the way through in there. And we also need to be making sure around the whole circumference of the tyre that that tread is there. So the next question is, how do we find information about the correct tyre pressures for a vehicle? So this is a Fiesta Mark 7, or Mark 8 is the same, and the Fiesta Mark 7 is fitted with a plate that comes here. It's just inside the passenger door, and when we're looking at the plate, there's 2 runs here. So there's one tyre size and then there's 2 runs. One is for speeds up to 100 kilometers an hour, one is for speeds over 100 kilometers an hour. And if we look here, this is what we'd typically be doing. There's also 2 columns for each wheel. So one is for heavy loads, so 4 or 5 passengers, full boot. This one's for 1 or 2 passengers, 1 to 3 passengers, lighter loads. So this is really the one that we're looking at. And as we're looking here, for the front tyre we can see we'd want 36 psi, and again for the back tyre we're going to want 26 psi. Measurements in bar are also shown up on the top. You'd also find this plate, sort of typically you'd find it inside the fuel filler cap, and you'd find it online, sort of on the manufacturer's information. So to check the tyre pressures, old style, you're going to use something like this. This is a tyre pressure gauge. So we undo the valve of the tyre, we'll get the valve cap off, and the tyre pressure gauge is simply going to be put on the tyre like this. We're going to press it there, the end comes out, and here we go, we're looking, we should be seeing about 36 psi on that gauge. The other way that we can do it, we can use an inflator such as this that plugs into the cigarette lighter. This has got a digital pressure gauge on it, so as we plug it in, bear with me, I'm just screwing it on. So as we look, we can see on the digital gauge we've got 36 psi. That's this has the added advantage, it plugs in, powers off the cigarette lighter, and is a pump. So much like you'd see in a garage, and that will give you your accurate pressures all the way around. So when we're done, we remove this and need to remember to replace the valve cap onto the tyre, just to ensure all's in good order. Thanks for watching.